is I really believe that if we're going to be successful this fall, we have to unify our party. We have to go forward with a positive message that Americans see that we have solutions to their problems. When 7 out of 10 Americans don't like the path that this country is on, and Hillary Clinton is basically promising to keep going down the same path, we have an obligation to merge and to unify around our common principles to offer this country a choice, a better way forward, and that's going to take some party unification to do that. We just finished probably one of the most grueling primaries in modern history. It's going to take some work, and that's the kind of work we're dedicated to doing.
That was House Speaker Paul Ryan talking about unifying the Republican Party as Donald Trump continues to notch victories and head towards this summer's convention as the presumptive nominee. Hello, I'm Adam Housley, and you are in the strategy room. More about what Speaker Ryan had to say in the upcoming big meeting with Donald Trump. We have 2 analysts here, Democratic strategist Joe Lestingi, along with Republican strategist Charmaine Yoest, joining us. Welcome to you both. Thanks for coming in to talk to us about this. So, Joe, what do you think? Paul Ryan talking about the possibility of unifying the Republican Party. There's been a lot of back and forth on this. Do you think it can be done?
It's going to be an interesting way to path to hoe here, because he's already been called on once, and that was to unify the House, if you remember his speaker fight. And now he's got to go up against maybe the largest ego there is in this country, and that's the Donald. And what it's going to come down to is this, is Paul Ryan's talking about unifying the party, and Donald's going to be talking about getting himself elected president. Those may not actually match up. There are two big areas they have disagreements on when it comes to policy. Donald Trump has had some issues clarifying his policy. He's got issues to talk about with immigration and the economy that Paul Ryan may not agree with for all of his House members. He's got to maintain control of his chamber to keep his job as Speaker, and that's going to be really hard for them to come together on. Right. It's going to be an interesting summer. We should all tune in.
Interesting for sure, Charmaine. Obviously, egos in D.C. are 2 things that go pretty much hand in hand, but can they find some common ground, you think?
Well, look, these guys are both professionals, and they're both in the political arena now. They're coming from very different worlds, Paul Ryan having been a career politician, and Donald Trump relatively new to this game. But they're both professionals, and they've both been using that really important word, unity. It wasn't just Paul Ryan from that clip saying unity. You've heard Donald Trump talking about unity as well. So they're signaling to people that they understand where we need to go as a party, and it is absolutely essential that we put all of this chatter and internecine fighting behind us and move forward. There's a tremendous opportunity right now with Hillary Clinton still struggling to really nail down her nomination. The fact that the Republicans really are sitting in a spot where we're ready to move forward is actually a tremendous political gift. And I think these two, going into the meeting tomorrow, understand that, they'll be professional about it, and they'll come out having moved the ball forward.
Yeah, except, Charmaine, we still have this Never Trump group that's still out there. Cruz is still talking about convention fights. There's still a lot of controversy. Satisfying Paul Ryan isn't the only thing Donald Trump's got to do. He's got a lot of enemies all over the place within that party.
Yeah, but Paul Ryan is a start, and they will come out having made progress, and we will move the ball towards Cleveland and towards pulling the party together. Listen, the bottom line political reality is that Donald Trump got over 10.7 million voters who cast a vote for him. That's what our system is all about. We have a very clear system set up. There's people who are talking about wanting to change it, but that's for the next election. He won fair and square. It's time to move forward, and I believe everybody understands that.
Okay, I think both parties, we can say right now, at least have to come together, because you have the Democratic side as well. But I want both of you guys to answer one thing quickly. Joe, with you first. Just give us a quick idea of what you think is going to be said in that meeting tomorrow.
I think it's going to be a little bit of, I think it'll be a standoff, really. I think they're going to sit there and stare at each other for a little while. Someone's going to say, we need to bring this party together. And then they're going to have to, and then they're going to have to come together and say something that they can go out of that meeting and that they agree on, which will be very hard. I think that Donald wins in the end, but we'll see.
I totally
obviously,
disagree.
Charmaine, I want what you think is going to happen, too, because, well, I mean, my point is, obviously they can agree on one thing. They both don't want Hillary Clinton to win if she's the presumptive nominee for the Democrats right now. Charmaine, I mean, what do you think is going to happen in that meeting?
It's not to either one of their advantage for this spectacle to continue. They're going to want to move the narrative forward to something, and they will find common ground that gets both of them in a place, even if we're not at a place where Paul Ryan is saying he's endorsing, although I do think he should in order to get us to more of a place of unity. I think that it's not their first rodeo. You know, this is all kind of playing out in the public arena. They finally have a chance to meet face to face. They'll talk about things. They'll get to know each other a little bit better, and they'll come out and they'll say that they've made progress.
This is
Maybe we get some
unbelievable.
interesting tweets out of all of it as well. It's
He won't
going to
endorse
be
his own
interesting
party
summer. Joe and
leader?
Sharp. Well, you know,
Sorry.
let's see what happens. I mean, this whole thing's been unbelievable, right? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody thought the Democrats would have it wrapped up by now. It's not wrapped up. The Republicans are tweeting about what they're going to do. I mean, it's going to be a fun summer to say the least. Joe and Charmaine, thanks for joining us. I'm sure we'll be talking about this again at some point. For some reason,
you, Adam.
Just doesn't
Thanks
think
for
it's going
having
to go away. All right. For all of your 2016 election coverage, of course, you go to foxnews.com. That's where all the inside and outs of everything going on in the election. Until then, I'm Adam Housley, and you're watching The Strategy Room.